What's up, my DigiPeeps? So great to be back with what is unfortunately going to be the last video / review on the Disney Plus series Hawkeye. This show has been great, an all-around fun and incredible ride for the holidays, and one I'm going to be sad not to have to look forward to every Wednesday night. There was a lot to unpack from this episode, a perfect ending for the series in my opinion, so if you're ready, let's get into Hawkeye episode 6, titled So This Is Christmas. Now before I get into any opening from this episode, I just squealed 4 times. I am not ashamed to say it. Wilson Fisk, aka the Kingpin of crime, is back. Vincent D'Onofrio still comes in with his intimidating presence and just... this made me beyond words happy. Kate has seen the pretty damning video of her mother that Elena has sent her, and as she is freaking out, she tells Clint to go home. He stops her dead in her tracks by telling her that she is his partner. And again, no shame here, but I teared up. After Clint flat out told Kate that she is not his partner in episode 4, to being there ready to back her up 100%, this was heartwarming. And I mean, isn't that what the holidays are all about? We move into this great interaction then that Wilson has with Maya. And I say Wilson because this truly was a human side of him that we very rarely get to see. Maya is clearly shaken from the seeds of doubt she has based on the information Clint has given her. And watching Wilson say that he loves her, then he goes into this massive spiel about how Maya has betrayed them and Eleanor Bishop is trying to escape. It sent literal chills down my spine. Vincent still comes across as that cold, calculating mob boss with ease. I mean, even his footsteps when he was walking and just that pounding, it's so good to see him back. So Clint and Kate clearly have their work cut out for him and are getting ready for war, and it's time to bring in the trick arrows. Watching Clint take Kate under his wing here and having her literally label all the trick arrows, which was a funny callback to the 3rd episode. I mean, even having the Christmassy music here as Kate and Clint are getting ready, these two just make such a great pair. Then another scene that strangled my heart as Clint gives Kate a solemn warning that she can walk away, that this life is lonely and you get hurt, that heroes need to make the tough decisions. Kate follows this up by bringing up the 2012 attack on New York City. The fact that when she saw Clint fighting aliens with a stick and a string, how he flew through the air with no superpowers whatsoever. Then seeing Clint's reaction to this inspiration that he has on Kate, I don't think he realised just how much what he did in his life meant to others until that exact moment. Now, on to the Bishop Christmas party, where everything seems to be coming to a head. Clint and Kate and their LARPer friends and Eleanor and Jack and Elena are all present. The music here again was just on point. After a fair warning that Kate gives her mum and Jack to stay behind, we start getting some sniper shots at Clint from Kazi. So Clint clearly has his fight as Kate runs into Elena. This interaction, just like the previous episode, was the greatest pairing that Marvel has done in quite a while. Watching Kate get into an elevator with Elena and having her tussle with a highly trained assassin to hit any button to stop her from going after her partner, I honestly could have watched this all day. Having Kate slap Elena and the shock on her face, a clumsy mess as Elena pulls off Kate's dress that she totally meant to do to reveal her new suit underneath. Then having Kate childishly hitting every button on the elevator to stop Elena. Having the two fight and compliment each other on their moves. Did I mention I could have watched this all day? I truly cannot wait to see Kate and Elena, hopefully as friends in future Marvel products. The chemistry between these two is just pure gold. We cannot forget about the tracksuit mafia, who finally make their appearance. Then having Kate take them on and actually meet up with the guy she was talking to in episode 3 when she was held captive and helping him with his partner. That was a funny little callback. And then a great save from Jack, who Kate seems to be on better terms with now that she realises he was just a victim like she was. Great to see that that bridge was not burned for Kate given what's to come. Moving back on to Clint, however, who has his own problems and a fight with Kazi. Great action here and some setups he made earlier to get the upper hand, all leading to him reuniting with Kate on the ground floor as Kate proves that she has that superhero destructive gene in her as she brings down a huge Christmas tree with 2 arrows. Then it's time. New costumes and all the trick arrows. A flashbang arrow, a quill firing arrow, an ice arrow, a rocket booster arrow, an electric arrow, a knockout tranquilizer firing arrow, a gas arrow, a sonic boom arrow, a giant bouncy ball arrow, and even a pin particle shrinking arrow. This was great watching Kate and Clint working together here, and we even got a sneaky little Scott Lang name drop from Clint. So of course the tracksuit mafia are no match for the pair, so in comes Elena and Maya. Elena to take on Clint, and Maya, who surprisingly enough to take on Kazi, her lifelong friend and partner, who she is now convinced had something to do with her father's death. Maya tries to convince Kazi to stop and come with her, but the pure fear he has from the Kingpin here, this was absolutely just bone-chilling. Having him know deep down that he can't walk in both worlds, and this leading him to attack Maya, it was just honestly so sad. It really was. For Maya's whole life, she believed she was the good one, trying to seek vengeance for her father. Then watching her realise that she was working for the ones responsible for his death in the first place. It was hard to watch her entire world break down as their fight led to Kazi's death. This just made me so excited for the new Echo series coming out next year and to see her back in action. I mean, it's going to be a really great watch. Clint as well doesn't have things as easy and tells Kate to go after her mother as he stays to fight Elena. This was just messy and emotional. Clint tries to convince Elena that Natasha sacrificed herself, but she's just far too angry. Seeing her emotions pour out as she attacks who she thinks is responsible for her sister's death, it was just so sad. It's not until Clint whistles Natasha's secret whistle that I honestly forgot about from the movie that Elena finally lets up. Clint then brings up the plane escape scene when they were small children and explains that Natasha spoke about Elena all the time. That she never stopped loving her and the pair will never stop loving her back despite her being gone. That was another punch to the heart, but it convinces Elena that Clint is just someone else who loved Natasha and not someone who tried to kill her. Moving now on to the Kingpin, who is ready to get his hands dirty and goes after Eleanor. The man rips a door off its hinges, gets hit by an arrow from Kate and just walks it off, gets hit by a car and gets back up. Honestly, I would have run after the first arrow. Not Kate though, who just gets battered around by this beast of a human being / grizzly bear. Like, the man is just an unstoppable force. As Kate starts to annoy Kingpin, he manages to tear off her quiver and destroy her arrows, but she still goes after him. Again, this was hard to watch. Kingpin is no pushover, and honestly, I thought Kate had this lost. She, however, sees an opportunity to exploit and actually does the finger flip to hit one of her arrowheads, sparking a massive reaction and explosion from every single one of them. What a great way for her to get the win. Kate is then tasked with the hardest choice she could make. Her mother tries to tell her that everything is going to be okay and things will go back to normal. That she was trying to protect her daughter. Kate cannot do this and stands tall as she watches on as police come in to arrest her mother on Christmas. The witch, with a B instead of a W, even guilt trips her daughter as she is being put into handcuffs. So long, Eleanor. Kate don't need you. She's a hero. In the aftermath of all this, Clint congratulates Kate and tells her she took on the Kingpin and walked away. Not many can say they have done that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but was that a cheeky little daredevil nod? Clint then invites Kate to his home for Christmas. He was able to make his way back home in time for the special day, and it turns out that the watch he was trying to get belonged to his wife Laura. Turns out she was a former S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, which makes sense. I mean, that's obviously how she and Clint met, and could these Mockingbird rumours be true for her? Who knows? This is something we're going to have to find out later, as the series ends with Clint and Kate burning the Ronin suit, and his new partner workshopping some new names for her superhero identity. The end. This episode was great. Just an amazing ending to Marvel's best series to date. I loved the Christmas theme, I loved the action, I loved Hailee Steinfeld as Kate, and I cannot wait to see her in the future. Marvel just knocked it out of the park with her. This series will always be the show that brought back Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin, and you have no idea how happy that makes me. I know the man is 62, but he still pulls that role off like nobody else. I think Marvel knew this when they made the decision to bring Kingpin into the MCU. Great series, their best yet as I mentioned, and I'm not looking forward to next week and not having a new episode from this show. Highly recommended to anyone and everyone. So that's that. The Hawkeye series is over, which means my reviews are over. A real shame, as I really have been enjoying these. I kind of use these videos as a learning curve for my channel, and I can say I've learned a bit, and it's all thanks to this series. However, as always, I'm keen to know what you, my DigiPeeps, think. Did you enjoy the Hawkeye series? Have you enjoyed my reviews? What was your favourite episode? What are you looking forward to in the future? Leave a comment down below. I would love to have a discussion with any of you. Like and subscribe. And before I go, I just want to thank you all for the patience. I have been wanting to post more videos for a while, but with Christmas right around the corner and the heat here in Australia just turning it up to 11, I have honestly been afraid to switch on my computer in fears of it overheating within minutes. If you live in Australia, you probably know what I mean. Anyway, I'll do my best to post more around here, possibly after the holiday period. I hope you all enjoy Christmas. Have a wonderful break, and I'll catch you all in the next one.